What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. Um, New spot for the show. Um, Still my apartment. It's just I have it in a different angle just because I have like a little dining room table that, truth be told, I never use. Like, I never use my dining room table. I barely have people over. So I figured I always wanted a little setup to where like I can just set up the camera, record whenever I want, and then just move on. So that's how I have it until I guess I have more of a use for my dining room table. This is going to be the setup for the podcast. But yeah, man, today it ain't really too much topics. I only really got two. I wanted to talk about the Shrek 5 reveal. I know that happened like last week, but like it's better late than never to talk about something. So I definitely wanted to talk about that because Shrek is a series that I love. You know, it's one that I grew up on. So I have my thoughts about the reveal. And then last night, as of me recording this episode, last night was the Oscars. So I'm not too big of an Oscars person, nor am I going to claim to watch every single film that they shown or that they nominated. So I'm going to go through the list of stuff like the winners and nominations, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on stuff that at least I can talk about. But yeah, so let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is, of course, the Shrek 5 reveal. And how do I feel about it? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm mixed. I'm mixed. I don't know exactly how to feel about it. Even though it came out last week, I still don't know whether I really like the reveal or not. But it's for different reasons than how everybody else feel, because I've seen thoughts about people saying it's being too modern, like how the mirror is like imitating TikTok and is showing Shrek memes. I've seen people like complain about the animation and stuff like that. So I guess I'm gonna touch on the animation first, since that's the biggest thing that everybody is talking about. How do I feel about it? To be honest, that's the thing I'm the most mixed on. That's the thing I'm the most mixed on. Because here's the thing, I've seen a lot of people like go at the animation. I've seen a lot of people defend the animation, and I feel like I have arguments for both sides. For the people that's against it, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I did expect a little bit of a tweak. I'm not gonna lie. When they announced Shrek 5, and then of course if you've seen the last Puss in Boots movie and you've seen like how the animation style changed for that, I kind of expected like some type of adjustment, especially since the last Shrek movie that we got was in 2010. I think that's when the final chapter came out. So like we're in 2025 now. The movie's going to come out in 2026. So you telling me within 16 years that you guys didn't expect a little bit, like a little bit of a tweak. So that's where I'm like, people should have expected something. Now, for the people that's defending the animation change, the biggest defense I've seen for it is basically people saying like, "Oh, that the original movie came out in 2001. I think that's when the first Shrek came out. The first movie came out in the 2000s. That's an old art style." And when I hear people defending it, it's almost like they're saying it like DreamWorks can't recreate that style. Like they make it sound like it's hard to recreate the Shrek style when the last movie in the same breath came out in 2010. Copying an art style that you did in 2010 or even something in the 2000s is not hard to do. There's a lot of old film series that's still going on today that had older movies and that are still doing the same similar art style. We can look at Toy Story. We can look at Kung Fu Panda, another series from DreamWorks, a series that started in 2008, and with their latest film, they're still doing the same art style. So for people acting like it's hard for them to recreate the Shrek art style or anything like that, it's like I don't know what y'all talking about, but they could have easily just used the same old art style again. But here's where I'm kind of leaning to not really disappointed in the art style. I don't hate it. Let me start out by saying that I don't hate the new art style. I don't hate it. Like the people comparing it to Sonic's, original design and all that, those people are tripping. I don't understand why people are going that far with it. The original Sonic design was horrendous. But this Shrek animation, while it's different, and I feel like it, and I'm gonna be real, I feel like it's very unnecessary. I felt like it was a very unnecessary change. It's not a bad change. It's just one that takes getting used to. Personally, me, it's going to bug me because I'm not gonna lie. When I watch film series, I kind of like for everything to look very similar. And to just watch the first four Shrek films and then see like the art style, like change out of nowhere in the middle of the series, it's gonna kind of be weird to me. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it is what it is. It's not a horrendous art style like a lot of people are trying to like. I don't hate it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's very unnecessary. Because the way that I've seen Shrek's art style, yes, it's been the same art style for a very long time. But the way that I see it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of how I see this whole thing with the art style. Like it's new, it's getting used to, and I don't hate it. I just feel like it's very unnecessary. But at the same time, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why did you guys have to change it? But at the same time, I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on it. I see the internet like being gung ho about it, saying like they want it to change badly. Look, if they change it, which I kind of feel for the animators if they do wind up changing it, because it's like they already put in a lot of work, obviously, with that new art style. So for them to have to go back and probably do the whole movie over again to recreate the old style, for people asking that to happen, that's a lot of work. And I would really feel bad for the animators. For the Sonic movie, you would only have to change like one thing. You would only have to change Sonic. Everything else design, cool, but you would only have to change one thing, which is Sonic. With this movie, seeing how it's a fully animated movie, I would feel really bad for the animator. So to be honest, the way I see it, I feel like it's unnecessary. It ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, you know, like I can admire that they want to do something new. I can say that. But if they do change it, then I hope the animators are well compensated for like the overhaul of work that they're probably going to have to do. If they don't fix it, then it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're getting another Shrek film, which I'm gonna be real. I felt like we didn't need another Shrek film, and I kind of feel like getting a Shrek 5 is already taking away from Shrek Forever After, which I'm a big advocate for Shrek Forever After. Like that movie seems to be split in the fandom, but I've always defended that movie and I always said like it deserves to be up there with the first and second movie. The way that people talk about the first two movies, Shrek Forever After like definitely deserves to be up there. But I feel like Shrek Forever After is treated the way that it is because it came after the third, which a lot of people did not like the third. I'm someone that did like the third. Like I love the whole Shrek series, but you know, I feel like Shrek Forever After, it's a very overlooked movie, but to see like and they were marketing that movie hard. Like this is the final Shrek chapter, this is the final story. Like they done a lot to really say this is the last Shrek movie. So for Shrek 5 to even come out, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of like a little bit, it does take away a little bit of how hard that movie hit for me because I was very emotional watching that movie. Like I said, I grew up with the Shrek movies. I love the Shrek movies. And I remember on opening day, my mom taking me to go see Shrek Forever After. And it hit me hard. Like that movie hit me hard because it's like, damn, there's no more Shrek movies after this. Just for this to happen. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how some people are mad about Toy Story movies coming out, but are all for Shrek movies coming out because Shrek Forever After was a great ending in my opinion. But obviously, I'm gonna still check it out. It's still a Shrek movie. I'm gonna check it out. Um, Let me know down below how y'all feel about the animation and stuff like that. But on to the second point about Shrek. I've also seen a lot of people complaining about like the teaser containing like TikTok and Shrek memes, and people were saying, "Oh, we're worried about it being modernized." I'm gonna keep it real. Have you ever watched a Shrek movie? If you're literally having that criticism, have you ever watched a Shrek movie? Because the Shrek movies have always been um they've always been parodies of fairy tales and the real life world, especially Shrek 2 and Shrek 3. Those movies are literally full of pop culture and modern references that it's kind of crazy. Like the first movie, I don't really remember a lot of pop culture and like modern references in the first movie. I feel like that movie really relied on the parody of fairy tale movies, but the second and third movie heavily went in on fairy tales and pop culture and modern stuff. Like we got depictions of cops, we got depictions of Starbucks, we got depiction. The whole far far away is basically LA. Like I don't see how people are saying like, "Oh, I hope this movie isn't getting too modern." Like Shrek has always made fun of fairy tales and have always made fun of modern culture. So for that to happen, come on now. And then some people are saying like it's cringy that they're acknowledging the Shrek memes when it's like since Shrek Forever After, there's been hella memes about Shrek. Did you really think that when the series came back, they would not address it in some way, shape, or form? I'm not saying that the whole movie gotta be like about that and that the whole movie, and I'm not saying that the Shrek series is just that stuff, but I'm saying that those were depicted a lot throughout the series, like the modern culture and stuff like that. Like stuff like that was depicted a lot, even though that's not the main focus of the series. Stuff like that is depicted a lot in the series. So for people to say like they hope it doesn't become modern, it's just like for me, have you ever seen a Shrek movie? Like that's all I can ask them is like, have you ever seen it? And even if you did see it, have you really seen it? For you to even be asking that question, like, have you really actually paid attention? Because there's always been a little bit of modern jokes in every Shrek film, so I don't understand it, but yeah. Overall, even though I feel like the animation change was very unnecessary, at the end of the day, I'm still looking forward to it. It's still a highly anticipated movie for me next year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm willing to check it out. And, you know, at the end of the day, we are in a new like the last time Shrek came out, like Shrek Forever After, that movie came out in a time where like everybody wasn't like all over the place on the internet telling their opinions. But nowadays, and especially since it's a series that a lot of, people in my generation, which my generation is like the generation that is all over the internet and stuff like that right now. Like, since that's a series that's close to our hearts, we all feel like we have to say something about it and that we all have to, like, you know, we all have to have something to say about it. When really, at the end of the day, I'm going to go into this movie just like I go into any other film. I'm going to go in with the expectation of liking it cuz I don't understand when people like go into a movie, especially when it belongs to a beloved series of yours. I don't understand when people go into a movie wanting to hate it or just expecting to hate it. It's just like, no, when I go into a movie, no matter what it is, even if the marketing looked like it's horrible, I go into each movie wanting to like something about it or wanting to enjoy it overall. So despite all this early stuff, which we also got to keep in mind, the teaser was only 1 minute and it didn't even reveal anything about the story. Actually, I don't even think the teaser was even a minute. So we got like either a minute or less of animation footage. We didn't get nothing about the story, and everybody already has this much to say, and we already are making big discourse about it. It's like, guys, let's chill a little bit. Like we can have our thoughts about the animation. Don't sit here and say that it's a Sonic situation, but we can sit here and have our thoughts. But at the end of the day, guys, let's relax. We barely know anything about the story. We barely know anything about the movie. Let's relax until we get some more, and let's have hopes that it's going to be something good. Let's have hopes that within these 16 years between the last movie and this one, that we are going to get a really good product. So I'm gonna go into it with the best, thoughts. I hope you guys are as well. Like I said, let me know down below. Like if you guys have anything to say about, anything I've said, or if you have a point that I didn't even bring up about the Shrek movies, yeah, let me know down below. I like to build up conversation. But now let's get to these Oscars. Let's get to these Oscars. I got the list pulled up on the CBS News website. And like I said, I'm only going to talk about things that I know about. Like I said, I haven't seen every film here, and I'm not really much of a, what's the word, like academy type movie person. I'm not gonna lie. Amelia Perez, I ain't see that movie. The Brutalist, I ain't see that movie. Dune 2, I ain't see that movie. Like there's a lot of movies here that I don't really watch just because I'm more of a, I just like to see almost every type of movie. But I'm not gonna lie, academy movies kind of turn me off because like I just don't know how to explain it. Academy movies are just hard for me to get with. But all right, let's go through these categories and let's see which ones I can speak on. Um, okay, I'll speak on this. Best visual effects. We got Doom Part 2, Alien Romulus, Better Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Now, I feel like even though I did see Planet of the Apes and I did see Better Man, those are the only two that I seen on this list. But visual effects, I feel like you can look at marketing. I feel like you can look at all of that and you can see which movies really do look the best and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I feel like every movie here, from all the marketing and all the clips, because I've seen clips of all these movies, like from everything I'm seeing here, all these movies definitely deserve the nomination. But the winner is obviously Doom Part 2, which I'm not gonna lie, that movie I do feel like deserved the win. From everything I've seen, even with me watching Better Man and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I ain't gonna lie. Doom Part 2, I feel like definitely deserved it. If that didn't win, then Wicked I could see definitely winning it. But yeah. Um I'm actually kind of surprised that Wicked didn't win this. If I was to look at this before, I would have thought Wicked would have won, but you know. So yeah. Best sound, Doom Part 2, Complete Unknown, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Um, I ain't seen none of these movies, but I'm kind of surprised that Wicked didn't win. If there wasn't so much controversy around that movie, I would have thought Amelia Perez would have won. I'm actually surprised that Doom Part 2 got 2 wins because I could have swore earlier on Instagram I seen somebody like complaining that like Dune Part 2 didn't win anything, but from what I'm seeing, it did win stuff. So maybe that person just missed that. Um, let's see. Best production design. Okay, so best production design, we got Wicked, The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, and Nosferatu. Wicked won, and I'm not surprised at all. Um, I can't speak on the Brutalist and Conclave, but honestly, if Wicked didn't win Doom Part 2 and Nosferatu, which I did see Nosferatu, um, Wicked, Doom Part 2, and Nosferatu definitely feel like the rest of them could have won. But the Brutalist and Conclave, I can't speak on them, but congrats to Wicked. But I could also see Nosferatu and Doom Part 2 getting it. Best film editing, we got Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Now, like I said, I ain't seen most of these movies. Anora is the only one that I saw. And even if I seen the rest of them, I loved Anora so much. Anora was my favorite film of last year. So I probably would have said Anora anyway. But yeah, so congrats to everybody else, but Anora, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I had to go with Anora. Best makeup and hairstyling. We got The Substance, A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And I did watch a little bit of the Oscars on TV, and I did see this nomination and award. Yeah, The Substance, easy. I don't need to see. I did see Nosferatu, but I don't need to see any of these other movies for The Substance. If you've seen The Substance, I'm saying it all messed up. But if you've seen The Substance, then you know that there's no debate. Like this thing won best makeup and hairstyling. There's no debate. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody has to say. I you know they promoting that app Kalshi where you can bet on like different things, and they were promoting it a lot for the Oscars, like betting what movies were gonna win which category. I would have bet all the money in my bank account on The Substance. I'm not even trying to, you know, um but and I'm not trying to curse, so that's why I didn't say it. But like, I'm not trying to meat ride, but yeah, The Substance, I would have put my whole bank account on that thing that it would have won. So yeah. Best adapted screenplay. I ain't seen none of the movies here, so I can't speak on them. Best original screenplay. We got Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, The Substance. I've seen Anora, of course. I've seen September 5, and of course I've seen The Substance. I'm actually as much as I've been seeing people praise The Substance, I'm kind of surprised that one didn't win Best Original Screenplay. But I'm not mad about Honora winning. Of course, I'm not mad about it. I love to see Honora sweeping. So, yeah. Best costume design: Wicked, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, and Nosferatu. Obviously, went to Wicked. Honestly, I agree. I don't see what other winner. I mean, I could see Nosferatu winning, but Wicked, obviously, I feel like that's a no brainer. Um, Best animated movie. The only one I've seen here is Inside Out 2. I've heard a lot of great things about Flow. So honestly, I wasn't when I saw that one on TV too. I wasn't surprised that Flow won because I've seen a lot of love for Flow, especially on Twitter and stuff like that. So I knew a lot of people would love that one. Best cinematography. I didn't see all the movies. The only one I seen in best cinematography is Nosferatu. Best director, we got Sean Baker with Anora. We got Corbett. Yeah, Brady Corbett with The Brutalist. James Mangold with a Complete Unknown. Jacques. Jacques. I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna try to. But the director of Amelia Perez and Coralie Forget with The Substance, which another one I'm surprised. Another one I'm surprised that The Substance didn't win. I'm surprised because, like I said, I see a lot of love for The Substance online. So I'm very surprised. But hey, Anora won that one. Congrats to Sean Baker, which I'm not going to lie. Anora with the movie that really got me into Sean Baker's work. That's the movie that really like made me want to go back into his other films in his filmography. So I did go back to watch the Florida Project, and yeah. So yeah, Honora was good enough to make me want to go back and look at his old films. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with him winning that. Um, Best Supporting Actress, we got Zoe Saldana with Amelia Perez, Monica Barbaro, yeah, with A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande with Wicked, Felicity Jones with The Brutalist, and Isabella Rossellini with Conclave. And honestly, Zoe Saldana, she put in a lot of work throughout her career, and I think this was her first Oscar win. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think this was her first Oscar win. So I'm not mad about it. I mean, I didn't see any of these movies, but I'm not mad about it. I'm only speaking on it because Zoe Saldana, she's been in a lot of movies that I've seen growing up, and she's put in a lot of work in her career. So if this is her first Oscar win, then congrats to her. I did see a lot of people defending Ariana Grande, saying that she should have won for Wicked. I need to see these movies so that I can really speak on it. But like, yeah. Uh, but congrats to Zoe Saldana for winning that. Um, I just the only movie I've seen in Best Supporting Actor is Anora, so can't speak on that. Uh, and I'm gonna leave a link to like the winners and the nominations in my description so you guys can see because there's a lot of categories that I'm obviously skipping since I haven't seen a lot of these movies. Best actress. We got Mikey Madison for Anora, Cynthia uh, Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Perez for I'm Still Here. Um, Another one where I was actually surprised that The Substance didn't win. I was very surprised because, look, I know I keep saying that I'm surprised that The Substance didn't win a lot of these nominations, but like the amount of love that I seen for The Substance was crazy these past few months. Like the amount of love I seen for this movie, crazy. So that's why I'm surprised that a lot like it didn't win as much as I expected it to. Um, and I'm also very surprised. Well, I'll save my thoughts on Anora winning all these awards. I'll save my thoughts for that at the end of this discussion. And then, okay, well, I guess I'm about to talk about it soon because Best Picture, the biggest one, we got nominations. We got Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2. Basically, a lot of the movies I've been saying over and over. Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. And of course, Anora won Best Picture. So Anora sweeping all these awards. Now, like I said, I loved Anora. It was my favorite film last year. So I literally have no issue with it winning all these awards. I got no complaints. The only reason I'm so surprised, and it's not that I didn't see any love for Anora these past few months, like I've seen a lot of love. And if you follow me on my socials, you know that I show a lot of love to Anora. Like it quickly became one of my favorite films of all time. So when I say that I'm surprised that it won all these awards, because look at all the other films that is stacked up against The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez had a lot of love, despite a lot of the criticisms I heard about the film and the directors and the actors. Like that movie got a lot of nominations. I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance got so much love, Wicked got so much love. So when I say that I'm surprised that Anora won, it's not because I didn't think Anora deserved it. It's my favorite movie of last year, so of course I felt like it deserved it. But like looking at everything else it was stacked up against, I would have never thought. Like I honestly would have never thought. And like the big thing that a lot of people is talking about with Anora and Sean Baker and all of that is that this is like this Sean Baker is big on independent filmmaking. Anora is honestly when I look at a movie like Anora, a movie about a sex worker and it's about romance, but it's also about class, and it's an indie filmmaker. Like Sean Baker, yeah, he's known by a lot of people that love film, but like he's an indie filmmaker and he prides himself on that. So to see him go up against these titans in the film industry and to sweep like that, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But I'm happy for it, especially since I feel like independent filmmaking is a very big thing. I'm someone like I said, I love to see all different types of movies. I love to see all types of movies, but I feel like we really need a bigger push for the independent space, the A24s, the Neons, like companies like that prides independent filmmakers, films that like mainstream companies would tell you get the hell out of here if you pitched it to them. We need more of that. And Anora winning this award, Anora like sweeping the awards and winning this many awards could be the thing that makes that change in Hollywood. But I do want to speak on this real quick. Now, look, I get it. No matter what movie wins, there's going to be a crowd of people that feels like the movie didn't deserve it. And I'm not sitting here saying that just because I love Anora. Look, just because I'm saying that I love Anora and I'm glad that it won that many awards, I'm not telling y'all that that's how y'all should feel. Because at the end of the day, film is a subjective art form, like a lot of art forms. It's a very subjective art form. I love Anora, but it might not hit for you. Or you may love Dune 2, but it might not hit me, for me. I know for me, The Substance, I'm not gonna lie, of all the horror movies I released last year, I feel like Smile 2 and Long Legs and other horror movies should be getting as much love as The Substance. Substance was a decent movie, but it didn't hit for me as hard as everybody else. I didn't love it. I just thought it was a decent movie. Would I go out my way to watch it again? Probably not. But like that movie got a lot of love, and I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that they're wrong for loving The Substance. And I'm not going to sit here and reduce The Substance to what it's not. And I seen a lot of people today get mad that Anora won. And I've seen some people say that, it only won because sex sells. I've seen other people saying like that the movie was glorifying sex work, which I'm wondering, did you watch the same movie as me? Did you watch did you watch the same movie as me? Because Anora did not glorify sex work. Now, I'm not a sex worker. I can't speak on that. I've seen sex workers online on Twitter, TikTok. Like I've seen a lot of sex workers give their opinions on Anora, saying whether like they felt seen with that movie and stuff like that. But honestly, the movie is about a sex worker, but the point of the movie is not sex work. The like that's a part of it. We're not going to sit here and act ignorant about it. That's a part of it. But the whole, if you watched Nora and the thing you got out of it is sex sells or that it's glorifying sex work, then honestly I don't think he was really paying attention. I don't think he was really paying attention to like what the movie was really about. Because like I said earlier what Nora was really about. It was about class and it was about romance. And her being a sex worker had to do with those two things. Like it played a part in those two things. But those are the two main things that the movie was about: class and romance. Did the sex work play a part? Yes. But once again, the movie was about class and romance. If you watched Nora and all you got was sex, then I don't know, man. Critical thinking might be cooked. Critical thinking, paying attention, like really grasping what a movie is about, or not even just grasping what a movie about, but grasping what art is about, then that just we just might be cooked if that's what you got out of Anora. Because I've been seeing a lot. And look, if you felt like Anora didn't deserve the win, then you can feel like that. But don't sit here and reduce the movie to something that you like. Don't reduce the movie just because you didn't feel like it deserved the win. So yeah. That's all I had to speak on today. Um yeah. Once again, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. These past few days, I've been seeing a lot of new subscribers to the channel. Like I said, man, consistency, consistency. Not only is it my consistency, but I feel like it's also like, I feel like y'all are really rocking with me and I want to build a community. Like I really do want to build a community. I do want to give back to y'all. Like the more subs I get, I honestly be thinking about like doing giveaways like for digital codes of movies and stuff like that. Because like I'm big on film, obviously. So and I mean I got the whole movie collection that you guys be seeing at the end of every month. So like I do be thinking about doing like digital giveaways for films and stuff like that. Me being a physical media guy, but giving it. But then again, there's nothing wrong with having a digital collection along with your physical collection. I have both. But I be thinking about doing giveaways because like you guys have been showing me a lot of love, especially with me keeping up with the channel. Like you guys keep giving me a lot of love, so I want to show y'all some love too. So you know, let's get me up to like a certain point where I can start giving back to y'all because I want to give back to y'all just like how y'all been giving me a lot of love. But yeah, man. Shout out to all the new subs. Thank you guys. And the one thing I always tell y'all is even if you like one video from me, I encourage y'all don't just sub to me because of one video. Like I encourage y'all to check out my other content because Yeah, I do the podcast. I do my Blu-ray updates. I'm gonna get into vlogging, which I plan on vlogging my day tomorrow, so that could be something. But like, I do a lot of different type of content on this one channel. So I want for y'all to check out all the different content and see if you rock with me from that, because I mean ain't nothing wrong from subbing for one thing, because like hey, I'm not gonna complain about somebody subbing, but I just want y'all to rock with me like as a personality, as a person. So that's why I encourage y'all to check out like multiple of my different content and go from there. But if you want to sub from the podcast, if you want to sub for the Blu-ray updates, I got no complaints. I got no complaints. I just love to, see you guys, interacting with the content and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going on a rant, but thank you guys for the support you guys been giving me. And like I said earlier, man, let's start discussion. I'm horrible with texting and getting back to people, but I am trying to work on that. So let me know down below. How do y'all feel about the Shrek 5 reveal? How do y'all feel about the Oscars? Did they get it wrong? Did they get it right? What movies do you feel like should have been nominated? What movies do you feel like should have won? All that type of stuff. Let me know down below. And with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Peace.